Hi everyone! Welcome to 26 weeks of journaling prompts for self-growth nerds. My name is Marie and this is week 4. Today we are talking about decision making. Some of the toughest decisions I've made in my life include moving countries. I used to live in London and decided to leave a partner and a business behind to come home to Canada. Another tough decision was putting everything on hold for 6 months to go through hiking the Pacific Crest Trail. Even though I had no idea if I was going to make it, I could have quit after 2 weeks for all I knew. And more recently, leaving a long-term relationship with my partner who I'd been with for 7 years. I want to share 3 crucial things I have learned in the process of making decisions like this. The first one is that very often when you have a decision to make, there is an option that is ego-driven while the other one is informed by what your soul desires. Now, what do I mean by that? The option that is ego-driven is going to be more familiar. It's going to be the one that feels safer to your unconscious because it's more convenient, it makes more sense, it requires less effort. It's what you tell yourself you should do. And you know that whenever there's a should, it's the ego talking. That part of you doesn't want to take any risks, doesn't want to do anything new. Which brings me to the other option in your decision. There's probably an option that is aligned with your truth, that you feel drawn towards in a mysterious way, in a way that you can't quite explain. It kind of feels like a force bigger than yourself is nudging you in that direction when really you just want to stay safe. So that's the first thing I want you to do is practice seeing the difference between these 2 options. At the end of the day, I believe that your decision is not between 2 sets of circumstances, but between comfort and truth. Now, this brings me to the second thing I want to share, and it's that there's no easy 3-step way to find the right answer. No, you can't force these things. The answer is already in you and it's going to come to the surface if you let it. And then it's not going to be a choice between 2 options, but more of a surrender. So you have to get still, pay attention to the whispers, to find a raw space that's free of the noises, where you can hear the unambiguous signal. For me, I know it helps when I'm sitting next to water. If I put my feet in a river, for example. I also remember connecting to that state of being after watching the series Normal People and crying my eyes out. I had gotten so vulnerable, so open, that I could touch my core. How can you connect to the most authentic part of you, free from fear? It might be challenging to access, but let me tell you what, the answer is in there. And the more you go there, the clearer it's going to get. And then that's what you surrender to. Now let's talk about the last thing that I want to share. So it's really challenging to surrender to what your soul wants you to do because very often it's something you've never done before. So what you want to do here is build belief. Right now you're on this very stable platform, and even though you might feel depressed, you might feel miserable and bored, it's always safer to your unconscious, to your ego, to just keep doing what you've been doing. It is not wanting you to take a leap into the void following your soul's desires, because that just seems too dangerous, right? So what you want to do is build a platform on the other side that's going to help you feel ready to take the leap. There's multiple ways to do that. One of them is to talk with people who have done something similar to what you want to do so that you see it's possible. When I was thinking about through hiking the Pacific Crest Trail, I got in touch with women my age who had done it and had survived. You might also find these people in books or podcasts. Another thing you can do is read books by authors that help you feel courageous, that help you connect to what you really value. When I was thinking about breaking up with my partner, I reached out to my Bible, Tiny many beautiful things. And there's this paragraph that helped me trust my gut. And it goes like this. I didn't want to stay with my ex-husband, not at my core, even though whole swaths of me did. And if there's one thing I believe more than I believe anything else, it's that you can't fake the core. The truth that lives there will eventually win out. I read this over and over and over again in order to gather the courage to go in the direction of truth rather than stick to comfort. Another thing you can do is work with a professional like a coach or a therapist that's going to help you strengthen your confidence. You might also want to learn techniques to expand your nervous system capacity for discomfort. For some people, that's going to be meditation. For others, it's going to be breath work. For me, it's self-compassion, talking to myself in a reassuring way, telling myself that I'm okay, that I'm safe. And for you, it might be something different. But it makes total sense right now to struggle with making the decision if you haven't taken the time to build a platform of belief and trust on the other side. If right now you're stable and you want to make a move, don't just expect yourself to jump into the void. That's just calling for nervous system freak out, for panic. So let me give you today's 3 journaling prompts. Think of a decision that you have to make right now. And my first question is, what are the voices of ego and truth telling you? Try to differentiate them. Chances are the voice of ego is going to be a lot louder, telling you about all the risks involved and what you should do and what's in your best interest. And the voice of truth is going to be a lot quieter. When you ask that voice why you should go in that direction, it might just tell you because you want to. And just wanting to is enough of a reason. Question number 2, what do you value most? Comfort or truth? And why? Be honest with yourself here. And that's not to say that if you choose to pursue your truth, you can't create a sense of comfort there. Instead of relying on material security, you can start to learn to rely on internal security. Now, question number 3 is, how can you build belief? How can you increase your trust so that you feel more secure going in the direction of truth? Okay, that's it for this week. This was a big one. Please don't hesitate to ask questions if you have any. I hope this was helpful, and I will talk to you next Saturday. Have a beautiful week. Bye!